did this happen? Our walls are impenetrable!
Your floor isn't.
Well then, if death is what you seek, then I will gladly provide it!
There's no reason to be hostile, Your Majesty. In fact, you should be proud. Your son is moments away from inheriting the throne.
Dale!
I tried, Father!
What do you want with us?
How shall I explain this? I'm gifting your son with my knowledge. It will make him the most powerful ruler your world has ever known. And he will answer to no one but me.
No! Murderer!
Prepare the Snatcher.
A crisis has befallen our world. For centuries we have depended on the Kingdom Stone, but its strength is fading. It cannot keep up with our growing demand for energy. The Prince of Shriegam, poisoned with madness over the death of his father, has bred machines across the land to steal energy from other kingdoms. Tensions are growing, and I fear that war may be inevitable.
Can't you be Little Miss Hero Pants some other time?
Not a chance!
Fine, I'll go by myself. Yippee. I better help.
And we're off with Carol T, or Carol the Wildcat, because all the cool mammals will use their species name as their second name, apparently. And Carol here, well, before we get started, let's first kind of get over the controls and stuff, I guess, and see what we're looking at here. Carol is not the fastest, that's why she has a motorcycle which she inconveniently parked right off screen. Thank you very much, Carol. It's not like we're in a hurry or anything. But no, Carol is more about combat. She's a more of a fighter type, although the others can do damage just fine as well. Carol has a standard attack. It's not very impressive, it's not very useful, generally speaking. But you know, in a pinch it can do the job. She can of course jump. Pressing jump twice will actually make a pounce move, which does no damage, but it gives her some forward momentum, which means you can actually reach some far off places. But more importantly, it will allow you to enter a run animation right away. But more importantly even than that is that if you press attack during a pounce, the wild claw comes out, and this one is quite damaging. So if you can manage to do it, because it is an extra button press, so it's quite complex and hard to do in the heat of battle, I find. But if you can manage to do it, it's quite handy if you can master this. You can also do that from a crouching position. Just crouch, jump and press the attack button to do it low. Also important, if you land from a pounce and press down, you will enter a roll animation, which is damaging to enemies. Enemies themselves, by the way, are not damaging. There's no contact damage unless they attack you. So that's very cool. And of course, when there's spikety spikes abound, they do hurt you. But yeah, I love that there is no contact damage from enemies itself. And yeah, I love the animations. You can also look up and look down. But yeah, I love that the sprite work in this game is absolutely fantastic. Anyway, let's move on here. Is there anything else? you see the blue bar there at the top left? Well, that's a special bar. For Carol, this means that she goes Chun-Li and pulls out a lot of kicks, which is quite damaging. Puts in a lot of hits, and it's quite a good boss killer. But also, it features quite some iframes, so it can also function as your panic button. Below there is your life meter, the petals, and the blue crystals. Once you have 200, you will earn yourself an extra life. And they are all over the place. They're also inside enemies. And of course, there are bounce pads and spring pads and all that stuff. But yeah, as you can see, the special makes fast work of enemies. And these things over here are the collectible star cards. In a fresh game, they are not transparent. And as you saw, Carol can also traverse walls. She can wall climb, kind of like Knuckles, I guess. And these things are her summon for the motorcycle. So she actually has it. If you want fast times in the levels, you will absolutely need her motorcycle. You can also dismount it. I find that the motorcycle is a bit unwieldy, so sometimes it's handy to just dismount and take care of things off the motorcycle. But on the motorcycle it's quite versatile as well, because the motorcycle of course can also jump, and of course it can also scale walls, because why not, and it can do a double jump, which will make it turn into a spin attack, which is quite damaging. And doing a special will either still make her do the spin kick, or it will do a little speed boost. It can be a bit unreliable, I find. The speed boost also can hit enemies. But yeah, and of course you can still scale ladders and the likes. And yeah, I love this animation too, this sprite work. She sure did not skip leg day, that's for sure. But yeah, let's just move over here and get our little first invulnerability item, much like Sonic. The main theme will start playing and you go all sparkly and no one can tell you shit. You just plow through everything. It's awesome. Well, actually you don't plow through everything, but yeah. And you got little set pieces like these and loop-the-loops and the likes. Good to keep in mind is that the motorcycle features 3 hits, and it's not like a shield, so it doesn't take hits for your health. Your health will also take a hit still. So you know, just be careful is all I'm saying. And yeah, as you can see, the motorcycle is actually, it gives Carol some speed. There was nothing here. But yeah, now there's this dude, and I generally don't like dealing with enemies on the motorcycle, so I tend to just go off here. And as you saw, I took all those hits, but the iframes from the special, it all went through me. So that's quite handy to know, especially with some bosses. That is very good to keep in mind, if you can. Usually I just forget and I start button mashing and just make a mess of things. Yay, loop-de-loop. Of course, that had to be in there. And first puzzle of the game, because we gotta go through there. What do we do? This is also an exclusive mechanic to Carol. Press jump on these little jump pads and she will fly all over the place. Ouch. Ate that bullet straight in the face. Other characters cannot make use of those jump pads, so that's neat. Interestingly enough, Lilac can actually bypass this little puzzle thing because she's so fast, or she can be. And I'm pretty sure some tester found it out, and then the developer was, nah, that's not a bug, that's a feature now. Okay, look, we made it an achievement. Love the developers. Will you stop that? Get out of here. Anyway, this over here is the shield. It's a wood shield. There are 5 different kinds of shields. They all give you 2 hits before they dissipate. And this one will give you... this one will attract the petals, which will refill your life, like these. It's not very handy, but it's okay, you know. And this is the first boss. It's not very intimidating. Just damage all of its segments and you're done. It's actually, again, easier to just go special There we go. As I said, the motorcycle was a bit unwieldy. But in other bosses it can be quite handy, or in some cases even necessary. Can we get in there? I think we can, right? If we can actually make a jump without... There we go. Yeah. Lilac has a more easier time to get in here as well, but Carol still can manage to. And yes, of course there's an underwater section as well. Of course there's bubbles to replenish your oxygen, because yes, there is a air meter. However, don't worry too much about it, because the water section in this game are actually quite tame. So it's not too much of a problem. Anyway, I think Carol has been in the shine light here, the spotlight enough. Let's see how Lilac is doing up ahead and the second half of this level. And here we are as Lilac, and she is quite different from Carol. So let's talk about Lilac here. She's supposed to be the speed character, however she can also attack directly, and strangely enough her attack is actually more powerful. She attacks with whipping her hair tendril things. I don't know, she's supposed to be half water dragon. So who knows what that kind of stuff is, but yeah, she whips it around and it's quite damaging. It's not as fast as Carol, but it's more useful because it does a lot more damage. She cannot scale walls. However, if pressing attack or jump twice, she does a little twirl thing, which is damaging, like the helicopter thing. I think it also has a few iframes, so it's quite handy. But do be careful with it, because some of the later bosses will punish you for abusing it. So good to keep in mind, if you can keep that in mind. That is, I can't, that's for sure. But it is possible to cancel the animation by doing a downwards attack, which is something that Carol also doesn't have. Something else that Carol does not have is an upwards uppercut thing, which I find very handy. I find Lilac is much more fluid to control. And the treasure chest we just opened contains some orbs which are used for the bonus game, which is honestly not that great, so whatever. Some enemies will contain them as well. There was a extra character, Ment. He's still in the game, but he is not a playable character, and he would use those different kind of color orbs. Unfortunately, that's not it anymore, or in it. Anyway, as you can see, only Carol can use these things, so in fact that means that Carol can actually reach areas that Lilac cannot, because the bonus or the boost, which is her special, does not allow her to go that far. This boost is actually why she is considered the speed character, because it makes her go quite fast. She can immediately have a burst of speed, and it's also quite damaging. So you know, that makes her the speed character. But yeah, let's go in here and have a little swim. Again, it's not too dangerous, the water. And yes, cats can swim. But Lilac is a water dragon, and interestingly enough, that also means that she has some more oxygen when underwater, so she has even less to worry about when swimming about. Swimming mechanics in this game are also really good, and if you want to be really safe, just get yourself a little water shield. Now we've got infinite air, and yeah, even though Lilac has more air, does not mean infinite air, so you know, you want to be careful with that. Ah, crap. Don't walk into the wall, Seb. But yeah, I find Lilac is much easier to control. I enjoy her gameplay a bit more. I like Carol's as well, but I find Carol just a bit harder to deal with. And these little icons are the bonus area icons. If you collect this, you will go to the bonus area. Again, I wouldn't go out of my way to get those, because the bonus thing is not that interesting, but whatever, we'll show it off, and why not. But in next parts I will probably skip out the bonus areas if I happen to collect those things. But yeah, as you can see, like I really love that the different characters really get to explore the environment in different ways. Like over here, Lilac actually has a bit more difficulty in scaling the wall here because, well, Carol could just... Can you stop that? Carol could just scale up. Lilac, not as easy. Although, you know, through boosting it can be fairly easy still, but I was just making it hard because I suck, apparently. Story of my life. Ah yeah, these big dudes, like all enemies, they don't really give you much, so unless you are really going for a lot of gems, which is an achievement, there's little point in fighting the enemies. Especially the big dudes who take multiple hits, I just say skip them as much as possible. Also good to keep in mind is that unlike Carol, Lilac cannot roll up into a ball. So if you want to do that, you actually need to use her special. So if you come out of the special and you are on a slope, it can actually feel a bit unwieldy compared to Carol, which is kind of weird, but you know, it's nice that every character is so different. I really like that aspect. Although, of course, I did not think that through when starting this LP, because changing up the girls all the time is bound to trip me up, because each character is quite complex in its own way, so you know I'm bound to mess up a couple of times because of constantly switching the controls. This level makes no difference when playing as either character. Mila does not play on this character, and here's the end boss, who we've already seen, and he's basically the same, although he does a little thing different now. I should, I guess, actually show that off. But yeah, the cyclone attack can make very quick work of him, as you can see. Again, this is not a strategy. It's kind of mean because, you know, this level kind of teaches you like, this is a perfectly fine strategy until it isn't. But yeah, this is the other move he does. He will bounce about, but that's enough of him. And that's the only difference. If you beat him as Carol, she will actually punch him off to the right side of the screen. That's the only difference here in this level, I think. Anyway, I think we have a bonus stage here, which is very lackluster. It's just you get to throw the die, and it will produce a power up. That's it. I think the first 20 orb is always a free throw, and afterwards like every 20. So if you have 40, you get to actually throw the die twice, but we only have 10, so we only get to throw it once. And you can even cheat a bit to make something appear that you like more, like a 2-up. That sounds nice. There's also a 3-up, but yeah, that's a bonus game. I will cut these out from the next parts if I happen to cross over the Tau symbol by accident. Anyway guys, that's enough of the first part. Enjoy the cutscenes, and until the next one, the muzzle.
How many chasers are left? Tell me!
You didn't say please.
Don't play games with me, duckling! Tell me!
Fine, be that way.
Sha! Where's that blasted snake mount? I guess we'll have to do this the hard way! I can do this all day! What is this hideous creature?
Stay back!
Oh no! The Duckman comes with me!
I'm not gonna let you eat him!
What? What the? Too easy!
Whoa, that was a close one. Thank you, Miss,
Lilac.
Miss Lilac.
Are you okay? I saw a huge explosion back there.
You've been following me this whole time, haven't you?
Duh.
I take it you know this guy.
Girl.
This girl?
She's like my tail, always right behind me.
Carol the Wildcat, at your service. And this is Lilac.
Well, I'm Torque. I'm a Shellduck.
Shellduck?
It's more of a nickname. I'm not exactly from around here.
So what are you doing out here? The skies haven't been safe for days.
Someone is about to steal the Kingdom Stone, and I have to stop them.
The Kingdom Stone. That's impossible.
Yeah, only I could steal it.
You wish.
Well, it's already happening. Marizawa is sending troops in disguise to the ancient temple. I have to warn them.
Carol and I are pretty fast. We could run over there for you.
Seriously?
Yup, I've got a motorcycle and she's a dragon. They're like super fast.
Turn straight.
Well, it's worth a shot. Hurry over there before it's too late.
What about you?
I'll catch up with you as soon as I find all my stuff.
Right. Come on, Carol.